All right, English 8. This is Chapter 18 of the Contender. Chapter 18. Barnes wasn't as strong as Rivera or as quick as Griffin, but he was rough and dirty in the clinches. He held Alfred's arms, stepped on his toes, pounded his kidneys. Donatelli screamed, "Break loose! Push away!" But Alfred's arms were heavy, his legs glued to the canvas. "What's wrong with you?" snarled Donatelli. Water gurgled into his mouth as Alfred tried to think of an answer. 6 hands moved over his body. The ice bag slapped against the back of his neck. The crowd was booing, but he didn't care. If you want to see blood, he thought, go punch each other. He felt tired. His brain felt tired. His eyes were watering. He threw out his jab mechanically, just stiff enough to keep Barnes away. Once Barnes tried to duck the jab and stumbled, his unprotected face bobbing up 6 inches from Alfred's right fist. "Nail him!" screamed Henry. But Griffin's twitching body flashed in Alfred's mind, and he never threw the punch. Barnes clinched and started pounding on his kidneys again. Alfred looked over at Barnes's shoulder at the clock on the far wall. Another 30 seconds. The referee pulled them apart, and Alfred kept Barnes away with the jab until the final bell rang. "Decision of the judges. A draw." The crowd booed him back to the dressing room. Donatelli and Bud and Henry and Spoon and Dr. Corey shifted from foot to foot as he dressed. He avoided their eyes. The ride back to Manhattan was silent. Spoon stopped at the gym first to let Donatelli out. "I want you to come up, Alfred," said Donatelli. They walked slowly up the sagging stairs. Donatelli unlocked the gym door and went into the darkness to find the light string. When Alfred went in, Donatelli was standing under the single naked bulb, his face smooth and hard like the first night, Alfred thought. Donatelli put his arm across Alfred's shoulders. His voice was soft, almost gentle. "It's time, Alfred." "You want me to quit?" "To retire," said Donatelli. "What about the next fight?" "I'll cancel it." "Why?" "You don't have the killer instinct, Alfred. The coldness to beat a man to the ground when you sense his weakness. I'm not sure I'd want you to have it." "Not all boxers have it. Some are so good they don't need it, but you're not that good." "I could try." "You did, Alfred." Donatelli raised one bushy eyebrow. "You don't really like to fight, do you?" Alfred lowered his head. Donatelli took his arm away and walked over to the glass plate window. "I'll never forget how you came up those steps, alone, at night, scared. You conquered your fear. You worked hard. You almost quit once, and then you came back and worked harder." "Mr. Donatelli?" "Yes. Remember what you said that night about being a contender?" "Yes." "You weren't just talking about boxing. You understood that." "And what you said about quitting before you really tried?" "You've tried. I know you've tried." "The next fight, No. You've had 3 fights now and never lost. They won't match you with Riveras and Griffins and Barneses anymore. They'll put you in with someone who could really hurt you." "Be like not finishing." "That's not true. You've learned to work hard, to concentrate, to climb." He left the window and came back to Alfred's side. "I'd like you to keep training. Keep running. Spar with the new boys coming up, like Spoon does. But no more fights." "You gotta let me finish. There are other things you want to do now, aren't there, Alfred?" "Yes." "You'll do them." "I know you will," said Donatelli. "Got to finish." "But why?" So I can know, too." That's the end of Chapter 18.